You arrive in this world with a shock of cold salt water flooding over your newborn skin. After months curled safely in the warmth of your mother's womb, you are suddenly released into the vast expanse of the ocean. You weigh about 3 tons already, the size of a fully grown hippopotamus, yet to your mother, you are small and vulnerable. Her enormous body, stretching almost 30 meters, glides beside you. She nudges you upward. Instinct kicks in. You need air. Your first breath is not tentative. It is a rush, a whoosh, as your blowhole bursts open and you expel fluid. Then you inhale the sky. The oxygen sears your lungs and awakens your body. That moment marks the beginning of your journey as the largest creature ever to live on Earth, a blue whale calf. Nursing begins almost immediately. Your mother produces milk so rich it is more like a milkshake than anything humans would pour into a glass. It contains up to 50% fat, and every gulp fuels your rapid growth. You will drink nearly 200 liters a day, each mouthful pumping thousands of calories into your system. Within 24 hours, you begin to pack on weight like an athlete in relentless training. Each day you gain close to 90 kilograms, swelling larger and stronger in your mother's protective shadow. The ocean around you teems with noise. Dolphins chatter, fish schools ripple like silver ribbons, and distant ships hum with human industry. But above all is the steady heartbeat of your mother, guiding you through the earliest days of your life. You do not yet know how immense you will become, but every pulse of milk, every rush to the surface for air, pushes you toward the destiny of a giant. You are only weeks old, but hunger is already the constant rhythm of your existence. Nursing dominates your life. Your mother's body works tirelessly to produce enough milk to keep up with your insatiable demand. She herself must fast, relying on the thick stores of blubber she accumulated during feeding season in the polar seas. For her, it is a sacrifice. For you, it is survival. You cling close to her side, a shadow that mirrors her every movement. You rise when she rises, breach when she breaches, dive when she dives. When predators appear, perhaps a pod of orcas in the distance, she positions herself between you and danger, ready to defend you with her massive bulk. Though orcas rarely succeed in attacking a healthy calf under its mother's watchful eye, the threat is real. Your safety depends entirely on her vigilance. Every day, your body grows longer, heavier, and stronger. Within months, you have doubled in weight. Your muscles thicken, your flippers grow more powerful, and your dives stretch deeper, yet you still return, again and again, to your mother's nourishing side. She's your lifeline, and without her, the ocean's immensity would swallow you whole. Scientists who observe calves like you marvel at the speed of your growth. In human terms, it would be as if a newborn baby gained the mass of a full-grown teenager every single month. Your life is proof that nature builds giants one gulp of milk at a time. As months turn into a year, you begin to discover that the ocean is more than an endless playground of waves. It is a classroom. Your mother is your teacher, and the lessons she imparts will decide whether you thrive or fail. You learn how to surface smoothly without exhausting yourself, how to coordinate your massive body so that you rise in a clean arc, exhaling with a thunderous spout that sprays high into the air. You learn how to dive with grace, folding your body so that your tail fluke slices upward, a perfect farewell gesture to the world above. Each motion requires practice, and sometimes you flounder, tilting clumsily or inhaling seawater. Your mother responds with patience, circling back, her calm presence reassuring you until you try again. Sound becomes your compass. You begin to recognize the deep rumble of your mother's calls, vibrations that travel 4 miles through the water. You mimic her, your voice still higher pitched and uncertain, yet already carrying the seeds of the powerful songs you will one day sing. The ocean is not silent. It is alive with echoes, and your growing awareness of sound connects you to the unseen world beyond the horizon. By your first year, your body measures over 15 meters, longer than a city bus. You are still far from your adult size, but you are no longer fragile. The time is approaching when your mother will lead you to feeding grounds where krill swarm in unimaginable numbers. There, you will discover your true food, and your first real test as a young giant will begin. Your childhood in the sea is both tender and dangerous. Every wave teaches you endurance, every call teaches you belonging, and every breath carries you closer to the destiny eaten in your enormous bones. The first time you enter the polar waters, the shock of cold almost stings. Yet you press on, driven by your mother's steady pace. Here, in the icy seas of Antarctica, life explodes in ways you have never seen before. Beneath this shimmering surface, countless swarms of krill gather, painting the water with clouds of pink and red. You are about to meet your true food. You open your mouth, and suddenly you are no longer just a calf learning to swim. You are an emerging leviathan, discovering the power of filter feeding. Your jaws stretch wide, your pleated throat expands like a massive accordion, and an entire school of krill rushes inside. Then, with a mighty press of your tongue, you force the water out through baleen plates, those long, carroting combs that line your mouth. The krill remain trapped, a wriggling buffet sliding straight into your stomach. At first you fumble, you open your mouth too late, or you misjudge the angle of the swarm. But quickly you adapt, honing your instincts. Each lunge is a calculated gamble of energy, and each successful gulp rewards you with hundreds of thousands of tiny crustaceans. Within hours, you begin to master the art of feasting. This discovery reshapes your body. You no longer depend on milk. Now your strength comes from the endless krill fields that stretch beneath the waves. You eat tons every day, and the calories fuel your rapid transformation. As your flukes beat with new force, as your lungs draw deeper breaths, you step fully into the identity nature intended for you, the ocean's largest grazer, the gentle titan who thrives on the smallest of prey. The years slip by, each season marked by migrations that span thousands of kilometers. You follow your mother's roots from the polar feeding grounds to the warmer tropical waters where breeding occurs. The distances would terrify a human, but for you, these journeys are a rhythm as steady as your heartbeat. Your body is no longer the uncertain shape of a calf. You stretch to 20 meters, then 25, your weight surging past 100 tons. Each heartbeat pushes gallons of blood through your enormous arteries. Your heart itself is the size of a small car, thumping with a slow, deliberate rhythm that echoes through your body. Scientists once listened to such heartbeats with awe, marveling at how something so massive could beat with such quiet efficiency. The ocean changes as you grow. No longer shielded constantly by your mother, you learn independence. You navigate using sound, following currents, remembering feeding grounds by the subtle cues of water temperature and salinity. You breach with more confidence, now, your colossal body soaring above the waves before crashing back in an explosion of spray. Seabirds scatter, fish dart in panic. The sea itself seems to acknowledge your size, yet for all your might, you remain vulnerable. Ships carve paths across your highways of migration, and their engines roar with a noise that drowns the songs of your kin. Plastic debris drifts through the water, tangling in kelp and currents. You sense changes in the ocean that your ancestors never knew. Still, your body grows, determined to embody the legacy of giants. You are no longer simply a young whale. You are a titan in training, approaching the fullness of the largest creature Earth has ever known. Adulthood does not arrive with a ceremony. It reveals itself in your voice. One day, as you drift through the deep, the urge wells up inside you to call into the darkness. You inhale, dive, and release a note so low that human ears cannot hear it. The sound vibrates through your immense body and into the water, traveling for hundreds of kilometers. It is not random. It is your song. Each phrase carries meaning, a signature that identifies you to other whales. You shape your song in patterns, repeating rhythms that echo across the seas. Other blue whales answer. Some calls are long and mournful, others short and pulsing, but all form a kind of conversation that binds your species together across distances that dwarf continents. Humans who study you lower microphones into the ocean and record your songs. They compare them across decades, discovering that blue whale songs slowly change over time, as if your species were engaged in a never-ending improvisation. To them, it is data. To you, it is life. Your voice announces your presence, your readiness to find a mate, your place in the ocean's chorus. There is joy in singing. It connects you not only to other whales, but also to the sea itself. Your song reverberates against undersea cliffs, bounces through canyons, and weaves into the symphony of waves and currents. In these moments, you are not just feeding, swimming, or migrating. You are declaring your existence with sound so powerful it can circle the planet. Your song is your story, carved into water instead of stone. It is both a tool and an art, a reminder that even the largest creature on Earth is still a musician searching for harmony in the vast, blue cathedral of the sea. One day, as you glide through the depths, a new sound pierces the water. It is not the call of another whale or the natural crash of icebergs. It is mechanical, sharp, and relentless. The source is a massive metal structure cutting through the sea, a ship, humans. They have always been near, but now you truly meet their presence. Their engines rumble, their propellers churn the water, and their hulls dwarf even your size. For a creature as immense as you, the ocean usually bends around your path. Yet here is a rival presence that ignores your majesty. Ships do not swerve for whales. Sometimes they collide, sometimes they leave scars. Centuries ago, humans pursued whales like you for oil, meat, and baleen. They called it whaling, and it nearly ended your species. Blue whales were harpooned by the thousands, their bodies dragged aboard ships, their oil lighting lamps and greasing machines. By the middle of the 20th century, your kind teetered on the edge of extinction. Fewer than 10,000 survived in the vast oceans where millions once roamed. You carry the echoes of that history in your bloodline, though you yourself may never see a harpoon. International laws now protect you, and most humans no longer hunt giants like you. Instead, they watch you. Small boats approach cautiously, filled with people who gasp as you surface, who cheer when your tail fluke arcs above the waves. To them, you are living proof that the world still holds wonders too large to fit in imagination. Yet danger lingers. Noise pollution from sonar scrambles your communication. Plastic waste drifts into your feeding grounds. Collisions with ships still claim lives each year. Your story is not only about survival, but also about coexistence with the restless species that shares your planet. The humans who once hunted you now hold the keys to your future. In their choices, your fate trembles. You live for decades. Time stretches differently for you than for the fleeting lives of most creatures. A single year may carry you from icy Antarctic banquets of krill to the warm breeding grounds near the equator and back again. Your migrations map out the pulse of the planet itself, a cycle as ancient as the oceans. Your body reaches its full majesty, nearly 30 meters long, weighing over 180 tons. Your tongue alone weighs as much as an elephant. Your breath shoots skyward in a plume taller than a house. You are the embodiment of enormity, proof that life on Earth can reach scales beyond comprehension. When you swim, the water parts like curtains before a moving mountain. But size alone is not your legacy. What you represent matters more. You remind the world that the largest creature ever to live is not a predator chasing fearsome prey. You thrive on krill, tiny crustaceans barely visible to the human eye. Power, in your case, does not come from destruction, but from balance. You are an architect of the ocean, fertilizing waters with your waste, cycling nutrients that feed plankton, which in turn sustain fish, seals, and even humans. Your presence helps maintain the rhythm of marine life. Inevitably, age finds you. Your movements slow, your dives are shorter. Your songs are fewer, softer, tinged with the fatigue of long years. When at last your life ends, you do not vanish quietly. Your body sinks, becoming what scientists call a whale fall. On the sea floor, your bones create an oasis of life. Worms, crabs, and deep-sea creatures thrive on your remains for decades. In death, as in life, you sustain the ocean's web. Your story is not only about you, but also about the resilience of your kind. From near extinction, blue whales now number perhaps 20,000 worldwide. Still fragile, still recovering, yet still here. Your journey from calf to titan echoes the broader struggle of life on Earth, to grow, to endure, to adapt. And so, when a child stands on the deck of a ship and gasps at your spout on the horizon, when their eyes widen as your tail fluke vanishes into the depths, you live on. You are not only a whale. You are a legend, a reminder that the world's oceans carry mysteries greater than any myth. You are the blue whale, the gentle giant, the largest creature ever to exist. Your life is proof that even in a crowded and noisy world, wonder survives,